Whoever thought Miami was just a one off, Canada pretty much confirmed it. Formula One is actually back.
We got sprint drama, qualifying magic from Russell again, a race full of strategy swings, disappointment, redemption, champions on the podium, and somehow the championship leader just keeps winning.
Clean race, suddenly you're on the podium, but that was definitely not the whole story of the weekend. Here are 5 things that stood out most to us from Canada.
Coming into Canada, we expected Russell to be strong. This is one of his best tracks. What we didn't expect was Antonelli being right there immediately. With just one practice session, upgrades on the car, and suddenly Russell was fighting his teammate for every tenth and every point. Last year, Russell comfortably led this team. This year, Antonelli is making him earn everything. Russell may still have had the stronger race pace here, but Formula One doesn't just score hypothetical Sundays. Moving forward, now comes Europe, usually the phase where championship fights either settle down or completely explode. Can Antonelli keep this level up, or is this where Russell starts clawing back the deficit? Because championships aren't won on your perfect weekends, they're won when you're slightly off and still maximize the points. Right now, Antonelli is doing exactly that.
McLaren's pace isn't really the question anymore. Strategy execution is. Canada joins a growing list. Qatar last year, Miami with Norris getting undercut earlier, and once again the strategy calls left points on the table. When the margins at the front are this small, you can't just be fast, you have to execute the entire weekend. If Mercedes has a fumble, McLaren needs to be right there to pick up all the pieces. And if they want to beat them consistently, operational mistakes simply can't keep happening. The scary part for McLaren is that title years don't last forever. If they want this era to become something bigger than a brief moment between Hamilton, Verstappen, and potentially Antonelli, they have to sharpen up.
Everybody predicted Williams would comfortably lead the midfield this year. Instead, Alpine has quietly become one of the most consistent stories of the season. Colapinto looks increasingly comfortable with the upgraded package, and the car looks stable enough to actually sustain strong race weekends. Alpine isn't necessarily grabbing headlines, but they're putting weekends together. Williams still flashes strong qualifying pace, but Sundays continue to tell a very different story. So the question now becomes, is Alpine quietly becoming the real benchmark of the midfield? And can Williams finally convert promising Saturdays into meaningful Sunday results?
Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc. No chaos, no unnecessary risks. Just clean races, correct calls, and maximizing the opportunities when others stumbled. This also felt like one of Hamilton's strongest weekends in a while. The car looked alive underneath him, and he looked confident enough to really lean on it. It was great to see Verstappen and Hamilton battle it out again like the old days. The 2026 regulations are rewarding discipline again. You don't always need the outright fastest package. Sometimes, you just need to make fewer mistakes than everyone around you. That changes the championship conversation completely. Because if execution becomes this important, every bad strategy call, every qualifying error, every missed opportunity suddenly becomes very expensive. And there will be others to pick up the points, just like the podium finishes.
The racing product genuinely feels different now. Qualifying margins are incredibly tight. The sprint and race delivered action, and overtakes are starting to feel more driver-driven than battery-driven. Drivers are having to really fight for laps again. Confidence, commitment, timing, and execution. It feels less about pure deployment management and more about actually attacking the circuit. And if Canada is showing us the direction the season is heading, then the entire European leg of 2026 could be very, very interesting.
Canada reminded us why Formula One can be so addictive. Antonelli looks increasingly ominous with the championship lead. McLaren still has some questions to answer. Mercedes looks terrifying, and the midfield battle keeps evolving every single weekend. And now the season enters into a phase where we have 8 races in the next 10 weekends, and we'll be right back for all of it. You've been listening to Push to Talk. Bye for now.